Happy Saturday, dear listeners. Welcome you all to the 14th episode of Divine Margazhi series, Thiruppavai Tales Unveiled Through Art and Music, presented to you by me, Srividhya Lakshminarayanan. We'll begin this episode with a Tirukkural. Solludal yarkum ediya, ariyavam, solliya vannam seyal. From the series of episodes that you have listened to, obviously you will understand that the quote of the day that I am mentioning in each of the episode aligns with the subject or the central subject of the Thiruppavai. Yes, you are all right. What is the main subject of this Thiruppavai? Action speaks louder than words. Solludal yarkum ediya. It is always easy to say something. I will do this, I will do that, I can do this. And we have the new year, coming around the corner. And we often do all the new year resolutions with, the full josh, with full enthusiasm that we'll do this, we'll achieve this thing, that thing this year. But what is a rare phenomena is to make whatever resolutions we take, put that into action. Ariyavam solliya vannam seyal. It is often difficult to make things happen or to make those promises into real. Bring that into action. Bring that into real. That is what is the toughest part. So, Thiruvalluvar has, beautifully given this Tirukkural highlighting that action speaks louder than words. Right? Solludal yarkum ediya, ariyavam solliya vannam seyal. So you will understand how Andal to highlights about this Tirukkural, we can say that way, right? In this particular pasuram, how both of these thoughts align with each other. So this Thiruppavai is actually set to the ragam Anandabhairavi, a rich, grand, joyous, happy ragam. Often we get to hear this tune, the very same tune during marriages as well, and this is set to Aditalam. Over to the recital.
உங்கள் புழக்கடை தோட்டத்து வாவியுள் உங்கள் புழக்கடை தோட்டத்து வாவியுள் செங்கழ் நீர்வாய் நெகிழ்ந்து ஆம்பல்வாய் கூவினகாள் செங்கழ் நீர்வாய் நெகிழ்ந்து ஆம்பல்வாய் கூவினகாள் செங்கல் பொடியை கூரை வெள்பத்தவர் தவர் செங்கல் பொடியை கூரை வெள்பத்தவர் தவர் தங்கள் திரு கோயில் சங்கிடுவார் போதந்த தங்கள் திரு கோயில் சங்கிடுவார் போதந்த எங்களை முன்னம் எழுப்புவார் வாய் பேசும் எங்களை முன்னம் எழுப்புவார் வாய் பேசும் நங்க எழுதீராய் நாணதாய் நாவுடையாய் நல்க எழுதீராய் நாணதாய் நாவுடையாய் செங்கோடு சக்கரம் ஏந்தும் தட கையில் செங்கோடு சக்கரம் ஏந்தும் தட கையில் பங்கைய கண்ணனை பாடேலோரியம் பாவாய் பங்கைய கண்ணனை பாடேலோரியம் பாவாய்.
That was the Thiruppavai in the beautiful soothing ragam Anandabhairavi. This ragam, as I mentioned before, often people get to hear in the weddings. And why is this ragam part of such auspicious occasions? Because the flavor of this ragam is such, it gives the calming, soothing, beautiful effect it immediately calms your mind and relieves all the stress, anxiety that you have, and fills your mind with peace. And that too, if you listen to this ragam in the early morning, I mean, for me personally, I have felt it like to be, like a bird's chirping, and you feel that you're one with the nature. It's greenery all around, and with the early morning chirping of the birds, how energetic they are. It immediately, I would say, wakes up your mind. It just fills your mind with such, peace, right? So imagine that particular scenery or that particular environment, and the Anandabhairavi ragam is running in the background. So that is how beautiful this ragam, joins with the nature or blends with the nature. So, and Andar too, surprisingly, we see in this particular pasuram, she describes the house, not just the woman. For the earlier pasurams that we saw, we had seen how she had been describing the relatives of the girl or the girl herself, her attitude, her nature, and using different words to please her, sometimes even a little bit of flattery, and all those things we have seen in the earlier pasurams. But now she goes on to describe the house of the girl. So now she is ready to wake up the ninth girl, right? The ninth girl to join the Nonbe. In this pasuram, she describes the house of the girl, as I said. The girl's house has a tank or a talab or pushkaram in the backyard. Ungal Purakkadai Thotattu Vavayul Senkalanir Vai Negirundu Ambal Vai Kumbinakkan. So this has to be seen together. Ungal Purakkadai Thotattu Vavayul. Now she says to the girl, or she orders the girl, you go and see the tank or the talab or the pushkaram in the backyard of your house. If you go, you will observe that the lotus has started to bloom and the lily has slowly started to close its petals. And Nanda says, I don't have to justify that the sun has risen in the east and it's time for you to join us for the Nonbe. You just, you don't have to follow my words. You don't have to be convinced that the time has come, the right time has come for you to wake up and join the Nonbe. You don't follow or get convinced by my words, but you yourself, you see for yourself. You go to the backyard, you see the talab, you will observe that all the lotuses, they have started to, blossom, and the lilies have slowly started shutting themselves meaning closing their petals. Sengalanir Vai Negirundu. Vai Negirundu referring to the blooming. Look at the word, and it's also like an oxymoron, right? Ambal Vai Kumbinakkan, meaning that any sentence that has, the duality being used, we call it as an oxymoron. That is good and bad, right? So the plus and the minus in the same sentence, we call it as oxymoron. So one of we can say like metaphor, simile, some the instruments in any poem, right? The meters, probably with respect to that we can say Senkalanir Vai Negirundu Ambal Vai Kumbinakkan. Sengal Podikoorai Venpal Tavattavar Tangal Thirukoyil Sangiduvan Podandar. Now before that, the girl from inside, she replies, see, it's early in the morning and this is damn shivering cold. I can't go and check the tank in my backyard. You better substantiate with some other information. So Andar goes on to this particular line. Sengal Podikoorai Venpal Tavattavar Tangal Thirukoyil Sangiduvan Podandar. Which means Andal actually describes how the saints who are, on the way to the temple, how do they look? How should they look? Both ways. So they should have very clean, sparkling white teeth. They should wear white or very clean dhoti. If you see small cloth that is attached in the tandam or the stick that every saint will have, right? So that should have a very clean white piece of cloth, tied to it. And they should wear very clean or white punol or the sacred thread. Okay, these three clean white stuffs the saints should have, and that shows that they are very sincere, not just sincere, but they are saints with higher power or wisdom or whatever you can say. That way I mean to say. So they are good saints. We can maybe calibrate like that. Okay. So செங்கல் பொடி கூரை வெண்பல் தவத்தவர் தங்கள் திருக்கோயில் சங்கிடுவான் போதந்தார். And Andal mentions about the white teeth that sparkles for these saints, right? Okay, don't get diverted or get reminded of the Pepsodent advertisement, but Andal too has such kind of a thought in those days itself. So these saints, they keep honking the white conch on their way to the temple to see whom? Vatapatra Sai. Right? Now, Andal starts to accuse the girl. Okay, she says she has given two instances to say that, okay, the sun has risen or the Brahma Muhurtam has begun. It is high time that you join us, right? Okay, two evidences are more than enough to convince someone. But the girl is still not convinced. So Andal gets little angry and she starts to accuse the girl. எங்களை முன்னம் எழுப்புவான் வாய் பேசும் நங்காய் எழுந்திராய் நாணாதாய் நாவுடையாய். Now this is what is I took it personally as the central line or phrase of this particular pasuram, something that coincides with this new year coming as well. That's what I said, the new year resolutions that we generally make. So I took it that way. எங்களை முன்னம் எழுப்புவான் வாய் பேசும். No, yesterday evening when we all met, because they also have stand-up meetings as to assess what they'll be doing the next day. They'll plan very well. So yesterday evening, Andal says to the guy, you said that you will be the first person to arrive. You promised. And you said you will arrive first and you will wake up all other girls for the nonbar. But see what you are doing today. You only speak well, but there is nothing in action. Andal is very angry now. எங்களை முன்னம் எழுப்புவான் வாய் பேசும். You spoke very well. In Tamil, we have to say, நல்லா பேசினியே, இப்போ என்ன பண்ற? Right? In that tone, Andal is actually saying, you only speak well, but nothing in action. Nangai. And again, she will make a diplomatic move. Nangai, okay. Oh girl, oh dear girl. You are possessing very good oratory skills. I agree. You argue well. You commit things well. You promise really well. Everything is in the promise. Everything is in the agenda, but nothing in the action. So it looks like the election promises that we get to hear, right? A list of things that we get to hear in the election manifesto, but nothing actually happens in the tenure. So the same thing is what we can see Andal accusing the girl. And Andal goes further saying, Nangai எழுந்திராய் நாணாதாய் நா உடையாய். Nanadai, aren't you not ashamed that you are acting or the way you are behaving is not in accordance to the words that you had promised or committed yesterday? Are you not ashamed? This is not a wise behavior. That's why I thought of this very famous proverb, action speaks louder than words, to be apt for today's episode. Okay, Nanadai Navudayai. One who speaks very well. Okay, we'll move to the next line. Sangoda Chakkaram Yendum Tadakkayan. Krishna is always close to Andal, right? So she can't weave a pasuram. She can't write a pasuram without highlighting Krishna, anywhere. So Krishna comes here. How does she describe? She describes him to be born with Sangha Chakram. Sangoda Chakkaram Yendum Tadakkayan. She is reminded of baby Krishna. Can we assume that way? Baby Krishna, who was born with Sanga Chakra in the prison to Devaki and Vasudeva, as they requested for Lord Vishnu's darshan. So when Vishnu actually informs to them that I'll be born as the eighth son to you, Devaki and Vasudeva, they request him to give the Vishwarupa Darisanam. But it is all of you will know this episode, right? Baby Krishna was born with Sanga Chakram, and he gives the Vishwarupa Darishanam as well to Devaki and Vasudeva in the prison itself, right? So that is the episode which Andal is referring to here. We can assume that way as well, and generally also we see Lord Vishnu with Sanga and Chakram, right? Sangoda Chakram Yendum Tadakkayan Pangaya Kannane. Everywhere, in so many places, we see Andal mentioning the beauty of the eyes of Krishna, starting from the first Pasuram itself, right? So even I would like to highlight how Muthuswami Dikshitar, experiences, or he explains the beauty or compares the beauty of the eyes of Lord Vishnu to that of lotus. So in many kritis he says as follows: Aravinda Patranayanam in Seshachalanayakam, Sarasa Dadanayana, that's a Kamas kriti, Sarasa Dadanayana, Sankata Harana, Hare Govinda. Then Pankaja Nayana Vilasam, that comes in Rajagopalam in Mohanam Ragam. And in Saundar Rajamashriye, he goes on to say like Nandakara Nayanam Bhujam. So that's a beautiful kriti in Brindavana Saranga Ragam. So, oh girl, are you not ready to come and, look at the beautiful eyes of Lord Krishna, and in turn, let him bless through his powerful eyes as well, right? Pangaya Kannane Padelor Empavai, and Padelor Empavai, how apt it is, right? Muthuswami Dikshitar sings in praise of the Lord's eyes. He focuses on the beauty of Krishna's eyes. Similarly, we should also sing in praise of the beauty, or we should describe and experience the beauty of Lord Krishna's eyes. So that's what great minds think, like how they experience, or maybe the way they experience is a little different with respect to the language or the music. But that does not stop anyone from the bhakti or the eternal experience that one gets to, feel when they actually see the Lord. So that is, the bliss is common, or the bliss is same. That experience is same. So with that experience of looking at the beautiful eyes of Lord Krishna, we'll end this episode of Divine Margazhi series, and I'll meet you all with yet another episode tomorrow with the 15th Pasuram, and that will be the last Pasuram in this section of the Palli Elchi of all the, I can say Ayarpadi women also. Of course, they were women in Srivilliputturu, but each of them is a Bhagavatottama Stri, right? So we can assume them to be from Ayarpadi itself, right? So that will be the last Pasuram in this particular section. Hope you'll all not miss it, and we'll be back tomorrow. Have a happy Saturday, listeners. Bye.